Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. In this Transport Fever 2 series, we're on a mission to deliver every product to every city, building the ultimate transport empire along the way. From trains to trucks, planes to ships. We're optimising every route to make sure no city is left without the goods it needs. So get your cup of tea ready and settle in for another action-packed episode of non-stop logistics. Let's get going. Right guys, in today's video we've got a few things to cover. I just want to go over quickly, from the comments in the last video I've made a couple of changes, well one change really. I've moved this drop-off point in the town here, from over here back onto the main road. The point was made that if we do come to start delivering goods here, we won't cover the drop-off point for those. If you look here, if I just select the goods, all the goods need to be delivered at this end of the city, and when we had the stopover here it wouldn't cover those buildings, so I think that's a good idea. We may have to play with it later on as this industrial area expands out this way. We may end up having two separate depots within the town for that. But it looks like at the minute we're still making a profit on the route. We're up to $200,000 a year now. And I'm just sort of waiting for that to level out now. What I'm looking for is to get this number here up. Once Lumley's at its capacity, we can start looking at shipping some of this fuel out to somewhere else. We may need to connect up another crude oil well. I have seen that just down the road here in Prestwick they want fuel, and there's another crude well, so I'm sure we could do something there with getting some more crude oil up here and taking some fuel back. But what I wanted to do for the chunk of this episode, for the main part if you like, is something that was mentioned in the comments. Now somebody said that all lines, even if they're only working one way fully loaded, you use either coal or iron ore just to a steel mill, it makes a hell of a lot of money early on. So that's what we are going to do today. So we're going to set up our first train line today, as well as another line over at the other side. I really want to get the industries up and running so we can get things getting produced. And then after that, start looking towards how we're going to start distributing all of these things. So I think at the minute, I think I want to use this freight line here, which is a mod that I've used. I've never actually used it before, but I think standard track should be fine here. Platform length on the right. I think if we go left-hand side a bit longer, like this, we want to be pointing here. I found this steel mill here, and you can see we've got copper and coal up here. And then just around the corner we've got a goods factory that can use it later on. I mean, we have to get into plastic for that, which leads us down the road. I mean, we've actually got plastic and oil here, but we'd have to find a way of getting crude up to here. But as far as I'm aware, as long as we're delivering this ore into the steel mill, we should get paid for it, and we should make a decent amount of profit. And it looks like here, if we can thread the rail route through the valley here, there's not a lot of uphill. And where there is, the train will be running this way empty as well. So it'll come down the hill full of ore and actually end up down at the steel mill and climb back out empty. That's the plan anyway. Can't really see with this mod where this is connecting. I did just want to say as well, guys, thanks a lot for all your support in the first video. I can't believe how well it's done, if I'm honest with you. There's so many of you have, we've had so many new subscribers and so many people getting involved with it, giving comments, giving a bit of feedback, giving me some tips and tricks. So thanks a lot for that. I really do appreciate it. I think the best thing for me to do with this station, as I said, I've not used this one before. It does seem to be wanting to do some weird and wonderful things with the terrain. So we are going to have to borrow some money, aren't we? Because I paid a lot of the loan back, and this is probably going to take a really good chunk in today's episode. Setting up train lines does always seem to cost a hell of a lot. I'm just in two minds of how long this needs to be. I think if we go out that way, all this here. Now I'm going to try this first and then do a bit of landscaping because I don't like what it's done here, but we can make that look better. But we can't with just doing it there. I'm not happy with that, but if we move it away from the road a little bit, just want to make sure it is definitely connected. This bit, the front, I don't mind sort of this dead end here because we have got the barrier to stop the trains going any further. I don't mind that. But now I just want to make sure that that is connecting into the steel mill. It is. Cool. Okay, so then further up here, I think we'll go for some standard ones here. We're going to need, we might as well go 240 here, hadn't we? I think we're only actually going to need one track as well. I think we'll double track it coming through here, so there's a sort of a bypass route. I'm in two minds here, guys. With it being the early game, I think I'm going to run with one train here. Not a big fan of this new snapping, and I do know, don't worry, that it's me just not being used to it yet, but it seems to, I spend my time aligning the station. As soon as I let go to place it, it just goes away from where I wanted it. But that one's connected in there, perfect. And then we can go with a terminus station up at this end, can't we? Now I do want to make sure this doesn't look horrendous sticking out the edge of the cliff here. That looks relatively flat there. If we can get a road round to that doesn't look too aggressive, I'll be happy. That connects nicely into there. How are we doing this? If we go straight in. There we go, that connects up. So that's the main sort of route setup, if you like. I have downloaded as well, guys, this track speed mod. I'm not going to get into it really just yet, but it's so perhaps later on we can have a play with that. There was a comment, I can't remember, I do apologise, my memory is terrible, but can't remember who it was that made the comment now, but someone was saying about starting off, because we're starting off in 1900, perhaps have some wooden bridges with a lower speed limit, and then later on we can come and replace them. Now I really like that idea, and I have had a look on the workshop, but I didn't manage to see any wooden bridge mods. But what I did find, looks like we're keeping speed up there, so that's fine for me there. Yeah, it looked like I've managed to find a stone bridge mod that can go up to 200 kilometers an hour. And if I'm honest with you, I do probably prefer having the stone bridges to the wooden ones. I mean, the wooden ones look cool, don't get me wrong, but there is something nice about seeing a nice stone bridge in the countryside. Now I'm simply double tracking this here, guys, just to give it a little bit of sort of longevity. What we might end up doing, just want to make sure this tunnel entrance looks okay. I'm sure those of you that do play the game yourselves will know. Don't mind it dropping to 35 there, by the way, just coming in just as it leaves there. So we'll go for the UK semaphore signal. And I think on the way back up, we want to be here on the, which side are we going to do? I think we're going to have to dual signal here, aren't we? Because what I'm planning on having one train and doing one load of coal, and then one load of iron, and then one load of coal, and then one load of iron. So at the minute, we're only going to have one train, so it doesn't matter. But in order to be able to do that, if we say we always go down on the left-hand side, we say that, I should have set auto sig there, shouldn't I? We want them at about, we say 400 meters. I'll have to guess this one now, but I'm going to put those all the way down there. And then here we're going to want one about level with that. We'll spread those all the way up to the station. We'll put one just before the station. And then here we'll go about here again. But then what I am going to have to do is put a crossover in here. And that is just so when we come up and do the iron run, it can come back down. So if our train's coming up here on the left-hand side, and it wants to pick iron ore up, because of these signals being this way, it will want to cross over. So if we create this line here, I know we haven't got a depot yet, but let's create a new line. We press double one on the numpad, we'll get rid of that. So the first thing we want to do is start up at the coal mine there, and I'm going to tell it to wait indefinitely for a full load there. And I will just tell it what to do here, just to make sure it's doing exactly what we want it to do. Then it's going to come down and it's going to drop off here. It's not going to pick anything up, it's just going to unload. Then after it's been to Head Cargo, we want to come up to Hendon here. We want to load up on iron ore and unload nothing. And again, we want a full load there. And then after that, it's going to come back to Hendon and it's going to drop off that iron. And then it'll start and go all the way back up to the coal mine again. I do apologise, guys. I'm a little bit flued up at the minute. I've got a bit of a sore throat, so if my voice doesn't sound great, I do apologise for that, but fortunately there's not a lot I can do with it. Now what we need to do is get a little depot going, so I like this one here, so I'm going to stick this one just sort of off the side of the track here. We can stick a limited track to this, because that sort of makes sense. We'll be coming out and joining the main line here, and then for a signal, turn auto sig off, and we want one before joining this main line. Then roughly where that's joined, we're going to want to peel off again and join this one in. That's for any trains that we need to come back to the depot. What that will mean is that we'll need a signal just before all of this, which means we can get rid of the one just after. There we go. So that makes a little bit of sense now. Now we've got the line all set up. I just want to make sure we've got the coming back here. Yes, we have. And then we're staying on the left all the way up. We are perfect. And then what I want to call that is TF train freight. And we're in Hendon, so it's Hendon. And it's the ore line, isn't it? So we'll call it Hendon ore. I don't mind the colour being red at the minute, it's fine. And then we need to have a look at what trains we actually have available at the minute. So in terms of locomotives, we need something with quite a decent power and tractive effort. Tractive effort's probably more important, pulling this. Pulling a heavy load of ore. So tractive effort's quite low on these two. The A3/5 tractive effort, so that's really good, but it's very expensive, 600,000. But you do get the bang for your buck there, pulling ore, don't you? So these Prussians aren't too bad. 200 kilowatts and 50 kilonewtons of tractive effort. 1,115. 3 times the amount hour, isn't it? A lot. 62 miles an hour. I don't know whether that's overkill off the bat for this first one, though. So this one here is 50 miles per hour. I think this is sort of a happy medium, whereas that's 700,000. These here are 1.3 million, but they are Great Western Railway. Tractive effort of 79. I think that's what I'm going to go for. I don't think these typically would have been used. I mean, we can go for this 700. It's 2 million, though. Mind you, this one's 3 million. I think we'll go for this. Great Western Rail. I mean, you guys can let me know below whether it would actually be used for this kind of thing. I don't think it would, but... so we've gone for a top speed of 80 there. Maybe that is overkill. You know what? I'm going to scale it down. We're going to go for this 3252. We're going to go for that one. And we'll see how we do. If we need to edit it later on, we can do. But the top speed there then is 50 miles per hour. And I'm pretty sure the cargo train, the cargo carriages we've got can only do 50. They can. Cool. And then I want to get a capacity here. 64. Do we take one off so we don't need another loan? So we can carry 56 capacity there. That's going to cost us 4 million. Let's do it. We want that on the Hendon ore line. And then we can hit play. Oh, we've already got play on. Let's have a look at what this looks like. Duke of Cornwall. Oh, we've got a whistle as well. Brilliant. Yeah, happy with that. We've got the big brass bell on it. We've got a driver and an engineer. Enough coal to get us up and down the mountain. We can restock at the top if we run out of coal, can't we? But yeah, there's something about these old British steam trains that I really like. There was another comment in the video, and someone saying that they really like the British electric trains. I think it was one of the other videos actually. Somebody said that they really like the first few old school English electric trains. And I have to say, the old school design of the English trains, the British trains I should say, really shouldn't have. It's fantastic, isn't it? But this thing is really nice, isn't it? Also, you can see now that we've got iron ore on the platform here. We've got coal up the top, so it's picked up the demand. So it is going to start picking up and shuttling some ore around. So we'll come back to that in a minute and see how much money that is actually making for us now. Another thing that I wanted to have a look at is I noticed here that at Middleham, we've got a stone quarry, a construction materials plant, and then Middleham actually wants construction materials. So I think what I want to do is set up another truck route here. It's super simple, but it's just getting everything produced, if you like. If we can quite early on get things produced and get things being made, then it's a case of shuttling them around the map to where they're needed, isn't it? It shouldn't be too bad. So we've got quite a nice main route through the town here, actually. So if we put a drop-off point there, it covers all of that and most of the goods as well. And then we're going to go on for... Let's have a look what some of these are. So we've got a warehouse here. That's a little bit overkill for what we've got here, isn't it? Let's see if we can change. We go old country. There's another way. It's more of just a barn, isn't it? But that's too big. I think we just go for the standards here. So with a stopping point, we'll go for centre. We want concrete now. We don't need all of the platforms. I think we'll keep the one on the left here. And we'll go for 30 metres. We do want an entrance. I think, do we just connect on sideways here? Does that work for us? I think that works for me if we can just connect in there. Let me know, guys, if you know there's a way to turn off this snapping. Because I'm really not a fan of that, if I'm honest with you. I prefer it how it used to be. You could just turn it round as and how you wanted to. See, like now, if I'm holding down shift, I want to click and place this here, but as soon as I let go of shift, it's typical the time I'm bad-mouthing it, it doesn't, but usually it kept just auto-snapping as soon as I let it go, so that doesn't look great there, does it? And what I want to do, to save the vehicles from slowing down as they're going in, I'll make that the main route in, and then we'll just connect this one in. Hopefully the vehicles can maintain full speed around here then. And then we're going to need a truck depot at the other end again, aren't we? So here I'm happy they can turn in, collect from here. And we are going to need another road depot because it's quite far away. And do we put it down near Middleham? I think it's fine, just on the outskirts here. We will need to start thinking a little bit later on, guys, about the emissions and things. So people coming through the town. We'll go with 10 again here. And we're going to need that new line. Yeah, emissions become something that you have to think about later on, as it can halt town growth. I mean, really, you should probably think of them from the off. But the moment all we're bothered about is trying to get them to make us some money, aren't we? So we go for line 1 here. We're going to go RF again for road freight like we did first time. And then this is Middleham. It's Conmat, isn't it? Construction materials. The pink line's fine for me there. So I think here I'm going to... I don't know why it does this sometimes. It's put all of these vehicles out. It doesn't send them to the first stop. So these would have done a full lap and made absolutely no money carrying anything. I think that's a bit of a problem with the game, to be fair. And if we get a Transport Fever 3, I'd love it to be that every time you start a new vehicle off, it just goes to the first stop on the route, if you like. I think that'd be great, even for your train lines and things. It'd let you know if you're adding more trains to a line or more vehicles to a line, that it'd let you know that it was going to work, sort of thing. So we've got stone there, which means it's definitely picked up the quarry. The consumers at the minute, it doesn't know. I'm hoping that'll change once the first vehicle gets here. But we have got the suppliers here with Middleham Quarry, sorry. So that gets us another material being produced. We don't have an endpoint close, really, that needs construction materials. I mean, we've got Hetton down here that needs construction materials. There's another construction material set there I can see. There's anyone over here? So we've got Sherborne all the way over to the side. And Mossley. So it looks like at some point we're going to have to get construction materials. Maybe we have a line that comes... a circular line all the way around here or something, maybe. That goes Middleham, Hetton, Mossley, Silsden, Sherborne, Soham, Hedden, and then back down to Middleham maybe. And then these guys connect at the bottom or something with maybe some kind of central hub in the middle. Maybe at this flat basin area in the middle we could have some kind of cargo hub. But yeah, let me know what you think about that, guys. How you think the best way to deal with that would be. So we've got the first train down here. Oh, yes, we're making a profit. This is what I wanted to see. If this, I'm interested to see it, how much it makes for a full load on the way down. Oh, we could pay another 500 back on the loan. Oh, we just missed it. So this is going to be the key to it now. We're at 9 million in debt, but every line we've got will be making us money. But the combat hasn't delivered yet, or it looks like one of them's delivered. There we go, now we're in profit. Each time someone drops off, we're in profit. how much is this going to make is when it drops off? That's the question. Oh, did I miss it? It looks like about 860. Maybe I've just turned the wrong one off here. I wanted the running cost of it going turned off, but I have just noticed here as well, guys, these cranes look like they're actually floating. So let me try and sort that out, because I don't want them to look like they're floating. There we go. That I can live with. That looks a lot better. It's quite nice, isn't it, this station, actually? It's the first time I've ever used this. I haven't noticed the cranes actually moving yet, so I don't think they move, but... Let me know, guys, whether you would just run the one train here, or do you think it'd be better to separate the two tracks? Maybe put an extra platform in down at the bottom here. Would it be better to have a separate train, one for each? That's what I'm sort of interested in at the minute. I'm not sure whether it's better. But now we're up to this 800,000 here. You know, I don't think that money's going to run out by the time we get back with a load of coal ore. So I think we're onto a bit of a win here. Now, the max speed's 50, isn't it? Because the carriages, you can see we're actually sitting at 46 here. Max speed of the train's 50 as well, so it's almost hitting its top speed up the hill. So I wouldn't want to add any more carriages just yet. But if we did branch out to a more expensive train later on down the line, we could definitely add some more carriages to that. So we've set the first train line up then. It looks like that's making us a healthy profit. We're up to 400,000 now, and he hasn't dropped off this second one yet. We'll see what that is once he's dropped that off. Over here, how are we looking? How much fuel has got to Lumley now? So 45. You can see that number's jumped up now. I think it was at 61. It's now at 82. But is this stop still covering it? It is. Cool. That's good. So we're still not delivering enough there, so we could probably do with a few more vehicles on that line as well. Range just dropped off and we're over 1 million, so yes, we're definitely making money there. So let's just have a look over here again at Lumley and perhaps add another 5 cars here. They're not really cars, are they? But see, now let's see if these go out and go to the first stop here, or are they going to go all the way around? Oh, no, they are going in. Perfect. There we go. So they're going to go straight in and start contributing. Yeah, so what I was thinking down here, guys, is if we got a train route probably to pick up oil here, pick up crude oil, sorry, all the way up here to the oil refinery, and then we'd have to have a separate shuttle bus of wagons to take that oil just to the fuel, because we've got the spare platforms at each of these truck stops. So we'd have another truck line just ferrying oil to fuel, but they would be 100% full. And they bring the fuel back, and then the train that's dropped off the crude would pick up the fuel, bring that back to Prestwick. So then we'd have fuel down here at Prestwick as well. So we'd actually have a fuel train then, even though it's a short distance. It would be running at 100% full each time. So let me know what you think about that, whether that'd be a good idea. But I think, guys, that is where we're going to call it for this episode. Let me know where you think we should go next down in the comments. As I said earlier, I really do appreciate all of your support and comments on the videos. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you do to follow on with the series. Let me know what you think. Make sure to hit the like button. And as always, thanks so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next video.